Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. I had to come in super quick in my quiet time and um, just trying to be obedient as far as staying off of social media, just to, interact with God, to really hear from God, to lock in. And so, anywho, haven't really been on. But I want to come to you now because this is a warning. This is a warning. It is so imperative that we do not forget God in all of our dealings, okay? So when we are looking at what's taking place in the world, we're looking at how the economy is shifting. We're looking at all of the shiftings that's taking place. And for those who, even those who are grounded, in God, it looks crazy, right? But especially for those who are not grounded in God. I remember a few years ago hearing prepare. And so I told one of my sister friends, I said, I hear God saying prepare, but I don't feel that it's the preparation of water or food or, any of that. It's a preparation of the heart. Prepare your heart. And so I'm saying that to you all again. Prepare your hearts, right? Guard it. Guard your heart. Guard your heart against what you see. Guard your heart against fear, the unknown, uncertainty. Guard your heart against malice. Guard your heart against, backbiting. Guard your heart. Begin to root yourself in love. That means you're rooting yourself in God. Okay? The times that are coming, you can't shift. You can't not shift, but you can't be weary. You can't be uncertain. You can't be afraid. You cannot be afraid. Fear will kill you. I'm going to say that again. Fear will kill you. If you need any proof, look at the pandemic. A lot of people perished. A lot of people died because they were afraid. A lot of people, it wasn't so much as the illness, right? But it was the fear. Fear takes you down. Fear blocks your immune system. Fear does a lot of stuff, right? So it's the reason why God told us, do not fear. Over 360 something times, 65 times in the Bible. It says, do not fear. There's a reason he gave us that warning. And so there's a reason I'm giving you this warning, to prepare your heart and do not forget God. When you see your finances shaking, don't forget God is the source. Don't try to figure out in your own mind how you're going to make it work. No, what you need to do is say, what are you saying in this, God? In the midst of me having everything, right? All of my bills paid. I got a little surplus. I can give, I can sow, I can whatever. And then it dries up, right? What is God saying in that? There's a message. And so often we look at, I gotta make some more money, or I need a second job, or no, you just need to put your priorities in order. God first. When the opportunities begin to present themselves and you get to do things that you didn't think you were going to be able to do, or it takes you to another level and elevates you, don't forget him. And I mean, like, don't forget him. Not just a mention on Facebook, not just a mention in church, but don't forget him. See, to live for God looks totally different than what we've been shown. We've been shown how to put on for God, how to put on for people. But I'm talking about living a submitted life to God. Means, you know what? My leader said XYZ, but I'm still going to go check God. I'm still going to check in with God. God, I heard what he or she said, but I need to know your will for my life. I need to hear you. Because at the end of the day, God going to ask you about you and why you disobeyed him. Yeah, it's great that we're honoring our leaders. Beautiful. We're commanded to do that. However, I want you to be fully aware that you are to honor God first. Before anybody. Before your husband, before your wife, before your mother, your father, your pastor, your bishop, your whoever, your first lady, before anybody, it's God. It's God. And so we can't forget God. We can't forget God. I know to those that I talk to often, it's probably like, that's all she talk about. That's all I know. Because when I was in a dark, dismal place, that's who came to my rescue. That's who didn't leave me nor forsake me. That's who taught me how to come through. That's who I cried out to, and that's who came. Yes, at times my mother was there. Yes, my husband has been here. Yes, my children. Yes, my leader. But at the end of the day, God was the constant. When my husband was asleep, when my husband was at work, when my mother was sick, when my mother passed away, when my father passed, God has been the one that has always had an open ear. And if I turned over in the middle of the night, I didn't have to worry about waking him because he never sleeps. God is the constant. When my husband's at work and I just got to talk to somebody, it's God. It's God. When I don't feel like talking to anybody, I don't never stop talking to God. Sometimes I'm just like, I feel like I'm rambling, because that's all I do. And that's not to be braggadocious or anything, but it's to be honest about my life, about my submission, so much so that I can't sit here and tell you, God know my heart. I might cuss a little bit, but God know my heart. Like, I can't even compromise myself like that. So if I slip up and say something I'm not supposed to, it's an immediate, God forgive me. If I do something that I'm not supposed to do, if I think a certain way, it's God help me. It's not an excuse for me to continue to do what I did. Because at that point, that means I'm going to do what I want to do. God ain't got no control over here. So you got to really start listening to people when they're talking. You got to really pay attention to what's being said. When they saying, he's still working on me. I know I had, and that used to be my thing too. Like, he's still working on me. He's still working on all of us. But at the end of the day, that's not an excuse to continue to be nasty, to be, who you've been. Because when we become in God, when we become with God, we become a new creature. That means we're supposed to act different. How you gonna be acting the same talking about you a new creature? No. I pay attention. And so we got to pay attention to what people are saying. I don't care what you post. I don't care. Sometimes even in the post, it's revealed. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. My whole purpose tonight, this morning, whatever, was to come in and tell you, don't forget God. Prepare your heart. And do not be afraid. That's it. That's all. I didn't do a H.E.R table this week because it's been intense. Hasn't been any warfare, but it's been intense. It's been an intense time with God. And so this is H.E.R table. H.E.R table is anywhere that you sit where you are being healed, equipped, and restored. This is H.E.R table. And so take this as your Monday episode. I know it's Wednesday, but take this as your Monday episode. Prepare your hearts. Do not be afraid. And do not forget God. Let me reverse that. Do not forget God. Prepare your hearts and do not be afraid. All right. I love y'all. Be blessed. God bless you.